Picture this. You spend 10 minutes building your ideal sniper loadout. You're ready to roleplay Bradley Cooper, who's roleplaying Chris Kyle. You load in and this is what you see. Or this. Ark Raiders isn't just raiders and robots. It's fog, storms, and darkness so deep it turns into a horror movie. Stuff that drowns your senses and messes with your head. And yeah, it looks cool, but this isn't just eye candy. It's a whole system and it changes how you raid. Back in May, Datamine dug through the config files and found 17 different weather types. Some are just slight variations like day-night swaps or lighting tweaks. They give us a solid baseline for what's already in the game. It gives us an opportunity to speculate on what could come next. So here's the plan. We're breaking down the weather we've already experienced in the tech test, what those 17 types actually are, and then we're going full tinfoil hat mode, speculating on where Embark could take this. So here's the deal. People keep calling Ark's weather system dynamic, but if you played the tech test, you know that's not exactly true. Whatever the weather is when you load it in, that's what you're stuck with. No storms rolling in halfway through, no fog burning off after a few minutes, it stays locked. I'm hoping that's just because it was in the tech test, because imagine how good it would be if it was fully dynamic. You could load into a raid under clear skies and 10 minutes later be fighting in the middle of a sandstorm. But yeah, as of now, that's not how it works. And that ties into another issue. You don't get to know what weather you're loading into. So if you bring a long-range weapon and the map's covered in fog or pouring rain, you're stuck with it. The one exception is night raids. Those are their own separate map option when you load in. Everything else is just a complete surprise. The weather did more than just change the vibe though. During the tech test, there were 2 world events tied directly to the weather. One was called Uncovered Caches. Storms have unearthed a number of raider caches, but they are rigged to explode should they be exposed for too long. Hurry up and find them all. Then there's lush blooms. The weather has been unusually agreeable lately, and vital fruits and plants have been thriving. Get out there and gather your food before it's all gone. These were rare, but they prove that weather in Ark isn't just cosmetic. It already has the ability to shape what's possible in a raid.
What's it like up there?
Where?
In the city.
It's dangerous. The whole thing is eaten by the sand.
So what kinds of weather did we actually see in the tech test? Heavy rain and thunderstorms didn't just look dramatic, they were loud. Fog and sandstorms cut your visibility significantly, and forest fires rained ash across the map, reducing visibility and making the whole world feel apocalyptic. Some were a lot more subtle, like different types of day like morning, sunrise, sunset. More mood-driven filters that completely shift the vibe of the map without changing how it plays. At night, visibility drops to near zero. The loot gets better so the stakes go up, and even the Ark machines shift where they patrol during the night. I didn't play enough night raids during the tech test to confirm this myself, but according to Game Informer, a bastion that guards the garage in Buried City during the day is seemingly somewhere else at night. So if you got a route that normally works in the daylight, it might get you killed in the dark. You can't just memorize the map, you've got to read it like it's living. And a cool detail is that the world sounds different too. During the day, the wildlife like birds are more active. It's the kind of subtle noise that you might not notice until it's gone. But at night, it's quieter. You won't hear that many birds, but you'll actually hear stuff like owls. It doesn't just change the visuals, it changes the whole soundscape to match. Alright, let's take a look at that config file. Back in May, a data miner cracked open some of Ark's internal files and found something interesting, which was 17 labelled weather conditions. These are the actual tags the game uses to define the raid environments, not just visual filters but gameplay states. Now, this list is from the tech test, so take it with a grain of salt. Some of them might get cut, renamed, or replaced. Oh hey, they might even add more. Once we've covered what's actually in the game files, we'll throw on a tinfoil hat and dig into where Embark could take this next. First up, the mood weather. You've got golden overcast, grey morning, pink sunrise, frosty morning, red dawn, and cold day. These don't impact the gameplay directly, but they do shift the entire feel of the raid. Next are the visibility killers. You've got foggy, sandstorm, misty morning, forest fire, hazy day. These directly affect how far you can see, sometimes with fog or haze, and sometimes with smoke and ash. Fog covers everything in a thick grey, you're basically raiding inside a cloud. Misty morning is more subtle. It's not full fog, but it limits visibility. Everything gets that soft blur that makes a movement hard to spot. Hazy day is similar. Just enough haze in the air to mess with long-range spotting and make silhouettes feel less distinct. Sandstorms cover everything in an orange haze. And the forest fires fill the air with darker smoke and raining embers. Then we have the audio disruptors. We got heavy rain, forest fire. These affect not just your ears, but your eyes too. They drown out useful sounds and layer in just enough noise to mess with your awareness. Heavy rain and thunderstorms wash out footsteps, drone hums, and even gunfire at a distance. Even your footsteps turn splashy, like you're slogging through puddles. So forest fire isn't as loud, but I'm including it here too. It subtly brings in heavy winds. Which also drowns the sound out around you. Then there's the night variants, actual weather tags tied to specific map version. These aren't dynamic time of day shifts. They're dedicated night builds of each map, and they play completely different. I didn't play enough to test every combo, but it seems like nighttime can stack with other conditions too. Like rain or fog, turning the whole raid into a sensory nightmare. Long range sightlines vanish, visibility tanks, you start needing flashlights, and the usual strategies you'd use in the day don't work the same. They aren't just darker versions of familiar maps, they're full mechanical resets. Alright, this is where we go full tinfoil. Weather-triggered world events. We've already seen the two that I mentioned before, uncovered caches, lush blooms. But what if that system kept expanding? What if parts of the map flooded during heavy rain? Like valleys turn into flash flood zones. You can go around or push through knee-deep water, slow, loud and exposed. But maybe raider caches get dislodged and float to the surface, making them easy to find. Or maybe there's a radiation storm, triggered by probes from whoever's behind the arc drops. It could cause stuff like your HUD glitches, your max HP ticks down. It doesn't cover the whole map, just an area around where the probe is. The probe doesn't last the whole raid, but if you have a gas mask, you can go in and grab rare upgrade parts before it melts down. Or maybe there's different variations of the probes. Maybe one causes lightning storms, in a similar fashion to like PUBG's red zones. And again, you can go in and loot the probe, but you gotta risk getting hit by lightning. What if they had blizzard events? Where your visibility tanks, stamina drains, your reloads slow down, unless you find shelter or heat. And maybe during these blizzards, special bunkers unlock. Temporary shelters with high tier loot that's only accessible during whiteouts. Sandstorms could uncover sunken bunkers that can only open when the wind strips away the terrain. Or imagine stuff like a solar storm. A storm that slowly drains your shields and messes with any tech you have. But instead of affecting the arcs too, it charges them up. Something like their cores overcharge. They get faster, stronger, and more aggressive. And maybe if you bring them down during that solar storm, you get their charged core, which could be like an endgame upgrade material. Or you could even do rare lightning storms that wake up like those dormant husks you see lying around. It's not just about making the weather look cool, it's about the weather rewriting the rules. Now look, I'm not saying these ideas have to be in the game. I'm not just saying add extreme weather. I'm saying tie it to real rewards, stuff that gives you more content. Because if you add a bunch of weather conditions that are all downside with no upside, they become annoying very quickly. So yeah, we've seen many games get weather right. Red Dead made your stamina cores get affected by the weather. Zelda makes it so you can't climb properly when it's wet. You'll get zapped if you're holding metal. The weather will literally kill you if you don't prep for it. Battlefield uses storms to change momentum. Snipers lose their edge and suddenly the whole match shifts. In each of those games, weather isn't just for atmosphere. It's part of the world's logic. It makes the world feel real. And that's the opportunity Ark has. Because if Embark leans into this, then the world stops feeling like a backdrop and starts feeling real. You're not just passing through pretty skies or thunderstorms, you're inside them. In Ark Raiders, weather doesn't just make things look better, it makes them feel better. More reactive, more alive, more like a place you could actually get lost in. If you're into this kind of speculative deep dive, consider subscribing. I've got a lot more of this kind of content planned. But yeah, if you got any fun ideas of your own, drop them in the comments. I want to hear. Let's build a wishlist Embark will never see. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.